So I was watching Don't Look Up on Netflix and decided to go review the poster like I do in most videos. And I like this poster and I thought, hey, this would be a good tutorial on how to do the knockout effect. And that's what we're going to do in this video. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. I could use a clipping mask to get the images inside of the text, but I wanted to use the knockout effect because I wanted to show a couple of techniques, and I thought it was an opportunity to use a tool that I don't use very often, but it's a nice little tool to learn. So let's get started with this. First of all, I want to get the color, so I'm going to use my selection. So I want to get that, and I want to go ahead and make a solid color layer here. Okay, so we're going to get that. So that's the color of the background. The image itself, what I wanted was an image itself. Now what I've done is I've already kind of changed this image. The original image looked like this. Okay, so this was the original image and I wanted something a little different, so I went ahead and did this, and we still have a little more work on it, and I'll just kind of show you how I did this really quick. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead, take this, bring it over. We didn't get the whole thing. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just take all of these and bring it over. All right, so I'll go ahead and delete this. All right, I'll bring that, put that all the way down at the bottom, because technically what I want is, let's turn that off. I want this to be the bottom layer. And again, we'll go ahead and fix this in a minute here, but we just wanted to kind of get this image in place just to kind of get a feel for where everything was going. Let's get this moved over and we'll deal with that. We'll deal with the lines and everything like that. And you may actually not even see the line because of how the text is. All right, so the text itself, again, I went ahead and got the text. What I did was, the text itself is this Bobbis Nuo Pro. That's the text that's in here. So let me grab that text. Bring that in, and there we have, you can kind of see we have our effect here. So we're almost 90% there. Let me take this all the way to the top. Now the one thing that we have is the one thing that we have going on here is that, let's see, we may have to kind of move this around. Let's do this real quick, and then So you can see we can use a clipping mask to kind of give us the same thing that we want. And I want her eyes there. I want his eyes about right there. Okay. All right. So that's about what we want for that. All right. Let's go ahead and take those out. I want to move the up in because I want to check the placement. Okay. All right. So Jonah Hill is the one I need to work on. So let's go ahead and work on Jonah real quick. Let's put a little nice little mask on here. Get a brush, and we will work on Jonah Hill. We'll get him. All right. All right, not so bad. All right, not so bad. Okay. Close enough. And now what I can do is I'm going to simply merge. Now that I have my image, I'm just going to kind of let's put them out here. I'm just going to merge these layers, move them to the bottom. Now the way the knockout effect is that it goes to the background. So if I leave this image the way it is, what I'm going to do is select this, unlock that image, that layer, and then I'm going to make this layer the background. So I'm going to go up to Layer, New, Background from Layer. So now we have the background from layer, and this is the color of the background. Turn that on. Right click on it, go to blending option. And right here where it says knockout, we're going to go to shallow. Take the fill opacity to 0. We'll do the same thing. I can double click on the layer. Same thing as well. Go to shallow. Opacity. All right. And now we have it. Now the rest of it is all of the text from the layer. Now the good thing about movie posters, there are all type of templates to get the text and the names and all of those things. I'm going to cheat here just a little bit because I'm simply going to highlight it and do Control C, Control V, and I'm just gonna copy and paste it right where it's at. Control Z. There's our knockout effect. So we recreated this poster with our own. And there are some things in there that you saw that we had to do. Now, let's dive a little bit. Let's come over here to this main image here. And let's come to this main image here, and let's kind of dive into the knockout effect on some different layers, because I'm just going to take a shape. I'll fill it with this color here. So this, right? Then I'm going to take some text. Doesn't make a difference what color the text is. We'll just make it black just for. Let's take it down 200. All right. And we'll just name it knockout. Now we saw what the shallow did. The shallow took the knockout effect there. Okay. Now what happens, and that you can see it took it all the way to the background layer. If I go deep, it takes it to the background layer. So it's knocking everything out until the background layer. But if I don't have the background layer, and let's say I'm going to put another solid color here, and we'll do something bright, like a big bright green. And now we come here and do the knockout effect. You can see it goes all the way to the transparent, because what happens is that it needs the background layer. So if I have to come up here, go to layer, new, background from layer, to the knockout effect, and now you can see we get our green. Okay. However, is there a way for me to get this image to be where the knockout ends and still have this green background? We can do that. What we have to do is we have to put what the parts that we want to knock out, we have to put them in a group. So if I group this, and I say this is the knockout, so the knockout effect will have to take place with everything within the group. And now we go to the blending option, we have it on deep, it's still going to the background layer. Why is that? Because deep tells the knockout effect, apply the knockout effect all the way to the background layer. However, if I switch it to shallow, shallow has the knockout effect apply only to the group and ends at the first layer below the group. So because this is the first layer below the knockout group, this is where the knockout ends. All right, so you can see with the knockout effect, it's a really great tool. Not used a lot because, again, we could do all of this with a clipping mask if we needed to, but the knockout effect is one of those things where it comes into play really when you want to remove some text and reveal everything underneath. You have shallow, you have deep. And just remember, if I want to use shallow, it's because I'm placing the knockout effect inside of a group. And I want the knockout to end at the first layer below the group. That's the difference between shallow and deep. All right? And so you can see within a few minutes, we did create this image. And this is how they created this poster. All right. That's it for me. We'll have another quick tip coming up every week here. Have a great one. The goal of this channel is to give newbies to Photoshop, After Effects, and Premiere a one-stop place to learn the basics. I appreciate your support in this endeavor, so please subscribe, like, and share the videos and help me grow this channel. Remember, you can never use up creativity, so start creating more and often. This is Quick Start Creative.